Former employees of Harry and Meghan have reportedly started calling themselves the Sussex Survivors Club, and the reason behind it is becoming increasingly clear. Allegations have emerged that Meghan Markle was difficult to work with, creating an atmosphere of fear among staff, bringing grown men to tears, and issuing commands with the force of a tyrant. These claims aren't just being thrown around by gossip magazines, they're being discussed in reputable sources like The Hollywood Reporter, where several ex-staff members have shared their accounts. Meghan, often dubbed the Duchess Difficult, is accused of demeaning her team and ignoring advice. Although Harry is described as friendly and down-to-earth, insiders say he actively supports Meghan's behavior. This is becoming a real issue for the couple, especially as they try to grow their personal brand away from royal duties. As they continue with public appearances, social events, and their Netflix projects, these negative stories are starting to overshadow their efforts. It's no longer just the British royal family speaking out. Hollywood insiders are also starting to chime in. Reports indicate that even their former chief of staff, Josh Cutler, left after just 3 months. Sources attribute his departure to Meghan's intense demands and the toxic environment she allegedly created, with several employees desperate to leave. Meghan has long tried to shift the narrative, claiming that rumors of her being difficult were the work of the media and palace insiders. But now, the same behavior is reportedly being seen in the US, far removed from royal politics. This suggests that the problem isn't tied to the royal family but is rooted in Meghan herself. On her podcast, Meghan addressed the labels, saying that being direct and setting boundaries doesn't make her difficult, it makes her firm. But for those who have worked with her, this so-called firmness has been described as something much more aggressive. Tales of her reducing grown men to tears and storming around issuing commands paint a much darker image. Even Meghan's close friend, Sarah Chapman, who has come to her defense by describing her as kind and compassionate, hasn't been able to halt the flow of damaging stories. The fact that those who defend her are either in her inner circle or may benefit from staying on her good side only casts more doubt on their sincerity. The narrative Meghan has been pushing, that she's a victim of unjust media attacks and royal manipulation, is starting to fall apart. The same negative stories about her behavior are surfacing on this side of the Atlantic, revealing that this isn't just a misunderstanding within the royal household. Let's be honest, this isn't just about Meghan being a strong or assertive woman, as some of her supporters claim. The reality is that no matter where she goes, the same issues follow her: staff quitting, friends being alienated, family members cut off. At what point do we acknowledge the common denominator? We all have conflicts with people, and sometimes it's necessary to distance ourselves from toxic relationships. But when this many people are stepping forward with similar complaints, it's hard to ignore the pattern. The fact that many ex-employees choose to remain anonymous, yet continue to share these stories with credible outlets, only makes their accounts more believable. Harry and Meghan have worked hard to craft an image of modern royals focused on charity and fighting against bullying. However, these new revelations about Meghan's alleged bullying could be what finally causes the public to question their integrity. It's difficult to maintain a narrative of kindness and compassion when there are claims of mistreatment behind the scenes. With more content expected to come from the couple through platforms like Netflix, it's worth asking, how long can they sustain this image before people stop believing in it? The charm, the activism, the portrayal of themselves as victims, it's all beginning to unravel as more insiders share their experiences. The cracks in their public image are widening, and it's only a matter of time before the truth becomes too big to ignore.